Hello, this video is about generating random non-repeating values from the list. Our list contains 32 unique values and we need to get 5 non-repeated random values from this original list. This task is not very simple. That's why I suggest step-by-step solution. And first step will be to make clear what exactly task we want to do. I already done this work. Paste here. What do we have? The range currently have 32 values, but only 5 non-repeated values are required as a result. The number of values in the range may change, and so random values is 5, and this number also may change. And we must know that the number of random values, of course, must be less or equal than number of values in a range. So step 2. In this step, we will need to get 5 random non-repeated numbers from 1 up to 32. We have basic formula which we'll use is rand between. The lowest is 1 and the highest is 32, and it's okay. Let's generate this formula a little bit. I'll make some short steps inside of this big step 2. This will be step 2.1. As you see, this value is changing all the time. When I enter some other data, this rand between generates me another input. For example, if I enter some value in another cell or delete it, I get another rand between values. So this formula works okay. And I want to make it an array formula and generate me some more random values. To accomplish this task, I like to make, instead of this one, I like to make a range of number ones. How to make it? I will use a row and indirect and array formula. Let's start with the row of indirect of A1, and it is of course 1. It's a row of A1 cell. What if we get A1 A500? We'll get 1, and what if we convert it into array formula? Control Shift and Enter gives us 500 of number of rows, and mass operation, when you make it with power of 0, you will get the same number of ones, just what we need. But I suggest this number 500 it doesn't give me any starting point, so I want to get many random numbers in this step as much as I can, but I don't want to get too much of them, not to overload our formula. So I know that the number of values is 32 here, and I can count it with, let it be generating the sequence of ones, let it be step 2.2, so you could see the whole solution. And here I will paste step 2.3. is just counting the number of values in column A. We know it's 32, and the formula gives us same result as expected. And of course, I want more than 32 occurrences of this number 1. So let it be 10 times more. So I'll copy this formula, and here down I'll write it like this, and instead of 500 I'll add with and percent 32 times 10, or multiply by 10, and see what is the number of ones. It is 320, and that's okay. It will be our step number 2.4. And step number 2.5 will be collect all this together. It will be here, and go on and have 320 random numbers from 30 or from 1 to 32. We'll use this range between formula, but instead of 1 we'll have this sequence of 321s. I'll place them here. Yes, it's okay. Instead of 32 I'll have this count A. This number we must count our original range of values, and it's okay, but we have only one random number right now. Let's also make this array formula. And finally, we got big amount of random numbers. Why do we need so big number? Because I need only 5 of them, but I don't want them to repeat. As you see, number 1 repeats here, number 15 also repeats, and when I get big enough range of random numbers, it guarantees me that I will have at least 5 of them which will be entirely unique. You see my formula has 2 array formulas inside of it. Well, let's make some more steps. In this case, step 2.6, we will remove extra array formula, and you'll see that this will work fine without 2 array formulas. We just need only 1 array formula to make it an array. I'll delete this, and I also may be patient, must be patient to delete extra bracket. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. This one was wrong, and hit enter and see. Now it works fine, and formula is shorter now. Let's add another step. I guess it will be our almost final step in this little step in this step 2. I'll make it a unique with a unique formula. Okay, works okay. Now we have only unique values, and I would like to count how much of them. Oh, I guess we have 32 unique values. So we see that this is just enough to get 32 randomly generated numbers in a random sequence, and they are all unique. And let's add final little step in this step 2. Inside of this step 2, I'll also copy this. Remember this formula, and I'll paste it here, and cut all formula and make it query. We have some good feature limit in our query, and we may limit it with 5. As you remember, we need only 5 random non-repeated numbers in this step 2. And here we are. This is step 2.7, and let's go back and see what we wanted to get. We wanted to get 5 random non-repeated values starting from 1 and up to 32. And just what we got here. Formula is already big enough, but that's not finished. We are not finished yet. And let's make step number 3. Step number 3, we must get values and row indexes. And now I will show you what I mean. I mean we must return all these values in column A, and we must combine them with number of row relative to this value. How do we get this? We already got number of rows in step 2.4, as you remember. We got the formula which gives us sequence of ones, but we made it with power of 0, and originally it was just sequence of 1, 2, 3 and so on, counter up to 320. We also don't need this multiplier. Let's get rid of it. And finally, this is just indexes of rows. It will be step 3.1. Step 3.2 is remain all original values, and to make it I'll use filter of these original values when they're not equals to nothing, or double quotes, close parentheses, hit enter. Or you don't see the result, here is the result. The result is fine, just what we needed. And step 3.3, we will combine this just fine, and it will be just fine. Get these slash and these, and inside curly brackets, hit enter. Oh, sorry, we must use comma instead of slash. Yeah, now syntax is fine. And of course, to combine the formula, we need get these instead of reference to our intermediate cells. Oh, we also see this H9 is also count A, and we must remove it with count A because H9 was also intermediate step, and I made a mistake in previous step. So H9 is just count A. As you see, we use count A too much times, so if you don't like just single formula solution, you may count A in another cell and then use this cell in your further calculations. So you firstly you make less calculations, so it's easier for a computer to make them. And secondly, your formula is getting shorter and it's easier to understand. But I love this big formulas, so I'll show you big formula solution. And all we have now is to add some final step. I'll insert more columns. Alright, so step 4 will be lookup values of random array, and VLOOKUP is a great formula which works with array formula. And if I'll make it not array formula first to show how just to show how it works. It will be step 4.1. Yep, equals VLOOKUP. What will VLOOKUP? We'll look up our values from our unique list here, step 2.7, And what table we will look up? It will be our good table from step 3.2 with indexes and the original values from an array. We'll return second value and is sorted 0 because values are not sorted, but our original formula is sorted right now, so we can even skip this sorted value because it is sorted actually. Yes, hit enter, and now I will show you the result. Oh, what does it mean? Code not be found. I guess my is sorted must be 0, or there is some other error. Oh, I see. This won't work because it must be an array formula, of course. And I'm looking for P12, P16, and I need only to look at P12 at this step, just to show you that the lookup works fine, and to make it in small steps, to make the formula more understandable, and then just we'll copy it to next step 2.4, and now we'll use P12, P16, and it's fine, but we must make it an array formula. Control Shift and Enter, and hit Enter, and see, this is just final result, just what we wanted. This is 5 random values from original 32 values, but there is another step to make this formula big and with no use of intermediate formula. Copy it, and instead of the range I'll calculate it. Oh, I need also here to include, instead of t, I must include this filter. Yes, of course, I forgot to do it. And there it is. Yep. As you see, when you build formula step by step, and we make this really small steps to achieve our goal, you can understand more on how formulas behaves and on how to make your own big formulas. And when you see such a big formula, don't be afraid of it. Just split it into smaller parts, and so you will see what was behind it, what was the first action, and what was the basic logic of this big formula. Now it looks really big, and I want to get rid of extra array formulas in step 4.4. It's so big it even doesn't match the screen. Yeah, you see some array formulas inside it, and we may get rid of them. When you enter your cursor inside of it, you see that only this part of formula is affected with this array formula. But we already have an array formula outside, so we don't need it. And also is this second array formula, and here, so I'll delete this parenthesis and delete this array formula text, and I see no more extra array formulas, so this is our final big formula for counting non-repeated random values. The number of them is 5, and you see that number 5 is here, is limit 5. Let's change it by 6, and you see the result was expanded into 6 values already for us. And so on, so on. You may control each part of this formula, and I guess somebody would find some shorter or more beautiful way to accomplish the same tasks, and if so, I ask you please add your solution in the comments, and I'll be glad to share it with others and to learn more myself. And see you next video.